Hey everyone, Aaron here, and welcome back to another anime review for ReZero Episode 2. So, once again, guys, I'm going to talk really quiet because it's like 9:23 at night. Everyone's, sleeping already. But, interestingly enough, this episode was what I kind of feared a little bit about ReZero in the gate from, like, the first episode, which was really nice. Don't get me wrong, I love the first episode, but I had a feeling that this episode might have the same issue that I want to say some series that do stuff like this would have. So, last time we saw Subaru, we saw that he reset time, and we kind of figured that okay, so he can reset time slightly, and he gets put into a certain predicament that he always has like a checkpoint that he goes back to. Now, what's really weird about this though is from the gate, you're already kind of figuring okay, so every time he dies, he'll always go back to this one section. Now that's fine and good. I'm okay with that. But the problem with it is that we have one big inconsistency, which I don't know if it's a flaw with the story or if it's a flaw with the writing translation of it. But one of the characters actually says, "Oh, I'm glad to help you," which is the merchant that he's talking to. "I'm glad to help you because you saved my daughter earlier." Now, what doesn't make sense on this quote, and I wanted to put this out first and foremost, is that he didn't save his daughter in the reset this time. He did not even get near his daughter. So how are you thanking him for that? That's one of the weirdest things that happened in this episode, I think. Besides that, though, one of the issues I'm starting to see with ReZero is that it's already kind of by the books of what's happening. So because Super was able to go back in time and kind of reset when he dies or anything like that, it seems like only when he dies. It's anything that he does or alters does alter the the timeline. So he meets another character when he's in the situation with the three guys trying to kill him, which by the way they did again kill him, but this time, he restarted, he went back over there, tried it again. But he notices that anything he does can change the inconsistency, so he can change and do certain things, and they will of course cause time differences. So one of the things he does now in the alleyway is he actually has and says, "Oh, I need a guard. I need a guard to save me." He yells that at the top of his lungs, and a guard off duty comes and saves him from the three guards. We meet this new character called Reinhardt, which apparently is a swordsman from a unique family setting, and we really don't get too much information from him other than him being known across the land apparently because of his family. So he's probably going to be a very influential character later, but right now he's very just introduced briefly. What we actually learned here a little bit more is about Felt, who's the thief that steals the insignia from Stella. And we learned that she really doesn't like being really considered a thief per se. She wants to get out of this career. She wants to go to a nice place and live her life in a better situation, but of course cannot do that currently because she lives in the slums essentially. Now, Subaru tries his best to kind of avoid the same consistencies of meeting with the girl who killed everyone during the meeting with last time in the first episode. So he's trying to avoid that. He's also trying to keep everyone alive by getting the insignia from her as fast as possible. But Felt actually doesn't trust him initially and actually then goes, "You know what, I'm not going to give you the thing until we meet both parties and we settle on the amount of money for the actual insignia." Now, what's interesting about this though is that when the girl is supposed to show up, actually Stella shows up, and this is showing some that him altering things and him doing certain things off the cue is not like Steins Gate, for example. There are big changes per se with the story. So now instead of the girl that killed everyone in that bar situation, now Stella shows up. So that's interesting. So I'm really looking forward to what the series can do with this. But I felt that this episode was kind of lackluster. I felt that it really didn't kind of give you anything new except for that new character Reinhardt being shown and a little bit more information on Felt. But everything else felt like we already know would happen with the first episode. We already know and established that he can go back through time, and it seemed a little odd that he now understands that after his like fifth screw up already. But I'm like, you didn't understand that from your third or fourth screw up already? It's a little weird to me. And like I said before, that was a really weird inconsistency with the merchant again. That was really odd. I didn't understand that fully. I don't know if maybe that's a part of the story or if it's like just a mistake that they made, but overall, though, I per se was not a huge fan of this episode. I didn't think it was bad. I just think that it didn't add or subtract anything from the show, and that it kind of annoys me a little bit. I'd rather have something that adds some value or even a little kind of remove some value. And instead, what we have is essentially the first episode again on paper. That's what the thing that always scares me with stuff that goes back in time and restarts everything. But that's how it is. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please continue on viewing these. I will keep doing them for the rest of the series, and I'll talk to you guys later until I pass across again the next review. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.